everybody. This is Brent Musburger. A ritual year after year has been Jim Neighbors singing Back Home in Indiana. Well, Jim couldn't make it here today. He has not been feeling well, and we all wish him the very best. So instead, we have his recorded version of the beloved song. And as you listen, please send your thoughts and prayers to the family of Dan Weldon, whose number 98 Champions car will circle the track as Jim Neighbors' beautiful voice fills the Indiana air.
At home again in Indiana, and it seems that I can see the gleaming candlelight still burning bright through the sycamores for me. The new mown hay sends out its fragrance through the fields I used to roam. When I dream about the moonlight on the wallbank, how I long for my Indiana home.
Yes, the tradition continues at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. He's watching at home in Hawaii. Give it up for Jim Neighbors. And now, to say the most famous words in sports, the chairperson of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Mary Holman George.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
Spotter radio check, turn 9, you got me turn 3.
Spotter turn 1, you got a copy, turn 3. Copy that, Lee, loud and clear. Go loud.
Radio check, Trevor.
Fantastic race. Mary Holman George is with us here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
There is no scene in sport quite like this one. As we prepare to start the Indianapolis 500, the balloons
it's a bit slower response.
this year's champion. Ryan Briscoe sitting on the pole, the first Australian. Elio Castroneves will be attempting to win for the 4th time. And now the gentleman who will take you through this great race. Let's go upstairs to Marty Reed, Scott Goodyear, and Eddie Cheever. Marty?
All right, thank you, Brandon. Hello again, everybody. And what the fans here at Indianapolis are about to experience can be summed up in 2 words: sensory overload. 33 cars screaming down the front stretch at well over 200 miles an hour. The rush of air will be so strong that whatever's not tied down is probably going to get blown away. And don't even think about talking to the person next to you, because they won't be able to hear a single word you say. And that's just the first lap. Yes, this is Indianapolis, and it's about speed and glory, Scott.
And Marty, this is the most exciting green flag a driver will ever take in their career, but it's also the most dangerous. A 3-wide start going down into turn 1 and constant speeds up over 200 miles an hour for this entire event. But they're willing to assume the risk just to get their likeness on the Borg Warner Trophy.
And you know what that glory is like, Eddie Cheever. You won this race back in '98.
This is a very unique event. You do not have to explain to anybody what the Indianapolis 500 is, wherever you are in the globe. And a very special thing happens. They add 2 words in front of your name wherever you're introduced. It is Indianapolis champion.
Well, there's also some things that get ingrained in our soul, and also the great finishes that we've been able to see over the course of time. And Scott, you were involved in the closest ever.
Still to this day, I can't believe it. Finishing second doesn't feel great, and I only thought about J.R. Hildebrand last year. 799 turns perfectly. The last one didn't work out. Dan Weldon came through to win.
But the cars are out on the first of the pace laps, and as we get a chance, let's check in our GoDaddy what to watch for. 2 things really jump out at us: the new car and new engines, and the temperatures. Let's first go back to the new car and the new engines. When you go to your local dealer, you probably think about 2 things: fuel economy and having enough horsepower to get out of those tight situations. Well, it's not that much different here, is it, Scott?
Well, the car that we used last year was used since 2003, so brand new cars for every team and driver right now. Chevrolet and Lotus have come along to join Honda on the engine front. The big questions are: who's got the most horsepower, who has the best reliability, and fuel economy will play a huge part in today's race.
And Eddie, we could be in for a record-setting day involving the heat.
It seems almost certain that halfway through this race, which is off the critical point of the race, we will be into record heat. These cars are new. It's the first time they've run at the Indianapolis 500, which is by far and away the most 500 grueling miles they will do. It is all up to making sure that you can stay focused the whole race, and the heat will affect the drivers, the cars, and the mechanics that have to get those pit stops done in the 12 seconds.
Well, there you see the cars coming around turn number 4 for the first of the pace laps here in front of this huge throng of about 300,000 people will be in attendance today. One of the guys that's going to have the blast of his life is going to be Guy Fieri. He is going to be the driver of the pace car. Of course, he's the star of Diners, Drivers, and Dives. And there he is behind the wheel of the beautiful Chevrolet pace car for the 23rd time. It is pacing the field in Indianapolis. This year it's the 2013 Chevrolet 60th Anniversary Corvette ZR1, the fastest, most capable vet in history. To learn more, just go to Chevy.com/Corvette. Well, Eddie has the drive of a lifetime. How about the guy who's got the ride of a lifetime? That's Thomas Patton from Salino, Ohio. He was the winner for this race. You want to get that ride? All you have to do is visit shophonda.com and enter the his teammate. That's the man who's leading, Marco Andretti. He has now led a total of 37 laps. We've had 13 lead changes. Stay with us. We'll be back after a word from your ABC station.
Let's go to Jamie now.
And he has a lot on his plate. 5 cars in the field right now talking to the driver. He's the strategist for Ryan Hunter-Reay. But the sun is leading. Meanwhile, putting your eye on his team. How are you balancing it all right now, Michael?
Like I always do. You know, I always have my eye on all the other cars and, you know, trying to stick to what's going on here, too. So, easy in line here.
A little nerve-wracking standing here watching him like here. Oh, he's talking to his deal right now. He's got a lot of things like we're going to keep our eyes on him. Get a little more win here as an owner, I think, you know.
well, let's talk about what happened last year. That's what's significant. Dan
becomes the 9th driver with 2 wins. And while he is celebrating, J.R. Hildebrand is aching inside.
Well done, my man, well done.
Let's go back and show you what happened. We talked about being outside the groove, up in the gray. An experienced driver would have just throttled back a little bit and turned around and just got off the gas as you watch Dan Weldon start to drive by. Look at this. Just 2 feet. He almost won it with 3 wheels. Can you imagine the feeling that young rookie has? And here comes the 98. To get past him, and look at how close he really was. There is Dan. And there comes Hildebrand coming across the line. Look at the reaction. And John Barnes can't believe it. And neither can the rest of his team. Oh, how heartbreaking.
But Dan Weldon's the best race car driver at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway probably ever. We're so lucky to have him in our car, and we get great support from William Rast and all of our sponsors, and we just won the Indy 500. Can you believe that? I can't believe, I mean, you know, we came here to win, and we kept saying we're here to win, but we actually won.
Brian Hurt a second time at the Indy 500 as a team owner. He wins it with Dan Weldon, and guys, Sam Schmidt's car is the one that goes to victory lane. He will be in victory lane as well. Rick?